Good morning from Hazyview. Good morning. I'm here to read my book for you, chapter 10, Gratitude. Love is the key. And I found it this weekend again to be so true. You Are Superblessed is my book, also available in Afrikaans. My gratitude journal accompanies this, attributed to Louise Hay, my mentor mama to self-love. My journal doesn't have a year date in, so you can use it forever. And yeah, enjoy chapter 10. Gratitude. Love is the key. Gratitude comes with the realization which on a day of clarity, remember the day at the beach with a feather lying on my feet, was received by my spirit, and now my realization is that even when it doesn't seem that way, God always has our back. We are the ones choosing to complicate this truth. I recall one of my many stressful mornings. I was getting into the shower and I was feeling particularly overwhelmed with financial stress. Vaguely, a memory surfaced of something I heard on Oprah about gratitude. At that moment, my mind was so occupied with the most challenging thoughts harboring my thought process, so that I could not think clearly or feel anything but stressed. I turned on the tap, feeling utterly depressed, and simply tried to clear my mind as the warm water started flowing over me. Again, a memory tried to strain through the polluted thoughts on my mind. As I started concentrating, not on my monkey mind, but focusing on the warm water, in a moment of clarity, I received a message. That water is purifying, and I really needed to feel purified. From that point on, every time I have a shower, I concentrate and focus ever more with gratitude on the fresh, clean water washing over me, clearing and cleaning any negativity. That day I received the message consciously for the first time when I visualized all my mind's worry, clutter, and cares flushing down the drain. The cleansing felt so good that day that I just kept on doing it for the longest while until it became a meditation. As I continued doing it, I actually felt enough free space opening up in me to perceive gratitude for the shower I was having. The fact that I even had a shower to get into, the fact that I had water, and the fact that it was actually warm. In fact, I could adjust it to the exact right temperature. And right there, by just having a shower, I decided that there was already more than enough to be grateful for. When I got out, I started with my gratitude journal, and since then, I have never stopped, adjusting my life to the exact right temperature. Everything I desire is within me. Understanding and implementing an attitude of gratitude into your life will attract more of the same. Yeah, as I said, this weekend, this accommodation at Bergdale didn't have accommodation for us for the weekend. They were fully booked, and so they put us up next door on the property next door, which is Rissington Inn, and I've made a gratitude video of that as well, of Rissington Inn, and we were super blessed by tranquility, a bath, views, just the most beautiful Saturday evening, overlooking this views, the most beautiful um, nature, and evening weather-wise, it was absolutely perfect, and we could have a bit of R&R. On Sunday, we went to work again, but I could wait for him there, and still had a lot of epiphanies, gratitude. I could make the video about the gratitude. We had beautiful food. Oh, everything was just super amazing, and I'm so grateful. And I know that gratitude begets more gratitude, and that is why we get what we get from Source, who wants to give us more because we are grateful for what we have. So, understanding and implementing an attitude of gratitude into your life will attract more of the same. I do believe I heard about the lesson from above from Oprah, as I am a big fan and she helped me and many others through a good few challenges over the years. Just the other day, my daughter sent me a voice note telling me that she was watching Oprah and always thinks of me when she does. Oprah is now an inspiration for my daughter with her challenges, and obviously my granddaughter, Alexia, while with her mom, is listening too. Super blessed with gratitude to have someone like Oprah, not only on my journey, but also on my daughter's and her daughter's. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. And that's the other thing. We never learn anything if we are not going through challenges. You open up your spirit when you're going through challenges. You let go because you cannot do anything else. And then the message just starts coming in if you are ready to receive it. And usually in the tough times, you are ready to receive it. Giving thanks for and with your spouse is one of the most significant habits you can build into your marriage. He now does the same. My husband, when we leave a place, we say thank you for everything that was beautiful at that space. And on this trip, we just found more and more and more to be grateful for. We've got everything that we need every time that we find a space. And I always try a budget space, and then I just get more for that budget spot as well. It works out so beautifully. Gratitude in marriage is absolutely essential, but it takes a lot of intention because you always just see the toothpaste or the toilet seat up, or you always see the things that the clothes that he throws down, or you know, and then you focus on that. But I've been trying my utter best the last few years already to focus on his goods, the strengths that he brings, the skills that he brings, the beauty that he brings to my life. And it works. It works so well. You still see the other stuff, but you're not complaining about it anymore because you've got 80% of good stuff that's filling and replacing your bad thoughts. So, and you're grateful to have that 80%, maybe 90, maybe it just reaches 90% of good stuff because you're grateful for it, you know. When problems are all you focus on in your marriage, you will have a tougher time finding the good stuff. Um, when I look around at normal marriages, which I really don't like doing, the most positive fact, which I am ever so grateful for, is that my husband has always been willing to stick around and work through all our challenges. A memory is sparked from a time many years ago when the two of us were driving next to the Neisner Lagoon. I felt overcome with stress and absolutely frustrated at the time as we were having overwhelming financial difficulties, and Pia decided to escape by playing computer games all day long. Isn't this what most people do when life gets tough? We try our best to escape, and the result of it is that our challenges just multiply. After such an escape, we still have to deal with our reality. There are many forms of escapism. Anything in extremes suggests a possible issue. Addictions are definitely the biggest form of escapism. I feel embarrassed to admit that in the past I was the one who wanted to run away when things would become difficult. I believe this, and possibly also my divorce with my first husband, could have been in part a contribution from my role models, my divorced parents. Nowadays, I realize that it is still my choice, though, and in the end, we are left with the consequences of our choices. Luckily, the present is always changing the past, says Lao Tzu, and I choose to believe him. To get back to the memory of our drive next to the Neisner Lagoon, this was definitely one of those times when I felt like leaving our marriage again, many times. um, but not in the last few years because I know that we've been through so much that there's not much more that I believe can change. We can face everything together. As we were alone in the car, I thought I would give it one last shot at communicating just how frustrated I felt. After all, communication is said to be key. As screaming and fighting most certainly did not help in the past, I kept my voice very calm and simply matter of fact told him how disappointed I felt. I told him that I felt that he was not living up to his strong name, Bethesda, and that I married him, might I add, after quite a few strong proposals from him, believing in all the promises we made to each other. That was it, just another way of communicating it. And he started making changes immediately. That day was definitely a turning point for us, as he has grown and developed over the years into the most amazing husband, grandpa, and businessman that he is today. Gratitude, as he has always been willing to forget my dramatics when I went totally ballistic and he moves on easily from something that I might term a huge fight. When he met me, I had red hair, and this definitely showed up clearly in our feisty fights. Gratitude for a much calmer me these days. Gratitude that he kept asking me to get married at the very young age of 22, especially as I was a divorced businesswoman with 2 children. We definitely had all the odds stacked against us, especially when a year later we lost everything financially. Obviously, his parents were also very worried about his decision to marry a divorced woman with a package deal to boot, and his granddad was sent to advise B against such a bad decision. I can't blame them at all. Gratitude for B being very adamant about his decision, and it really helped that his granddad loved me as soon as he met me. Because of this, his parents also became convinced that this was what B wanted, and the rest is history. We can create our lives according to what we want. Wise words, which I only learned much later on my journey. I want to read that again. We can create our lives according to what we want, but we first need to know what it is what we want. You need to write that down. What do you want in your life? And then it'll come. It does. Gratitude for my husband's intelligence. B has an inquiring mind and has always been willing to learn something new. This has led us to the opportunity of traveling together all over the country for his job, erecting cell phone towers, which is no easy task. Yeah, when people ask him what we do, what he does for a living, um, he says he works with big erections, and then I'll chip in and say, and sometimes I help him with it. I'll go to, and then people always want to hear more. Um, Gratitude that he also has the know-how to work very well with his workmen. One of the best assets of my man is that he has never been late when we were to meet up. When we are not together, he always sends me beautiful messages by phone. Where he touches me, I feel a warm glow, and because of this, it is the telltale sign that he loves me. I am grateful for the fact that he accepted my parents. My mom lived with us in our bachelor's flat, which he renovated especially for her when her husband died. My dad was still an active alcoholic when we met, and although my dad is fully recovered now, we had to deal with a lot over the years, and B was always at the ready to help. In life, challenges and difficult circumstances will definitely arise, and sometimes we will feel under the circumstances. If you would have asked me more than 15 years ago the question, "How are you?" the answer would probably have been, as is the norm, "Well, thank you, under the circumstances." As I felt that I was right there under the circumstances. making gratitude a part of our everyday life inevitably invites happiness to follow, which pulls us out from under the circumstances. An effective tool to speed up and accomplish this is having a gratitude journal. Notice that when we start to write down our blessings, more and more will soon start to appear and keep appearing. And as I have learned, this, under the circumstances, is usually the best time and even the only times to have a change of mind, a mindset change, so to speak. Because mostly only under only in hard times we have to open ourselves up and we allow a new way of seeing things to enter because we feel so totally out of control. In retrospect, it is easy to deduct that under the circumstances was exactly where I was supposed to be, but only because I learned the best lessons from it and therefore I could take the best from it. It's always us. It's what do we do with what we get? It was and is me who decides because I am the architect of my super blessed life. And by learning that gratitude brings happiness, I feel super blessed as I have learned the most valuable lesson of all, gratitude. It was and is me who decides because I am the architect of my super blessed life. And by learning that gratitude brings happiness, I feel super blessed as I have learned the most valuable lesson of all, gratitude. Feeling super blessed is all about gratitude. And I've got a link there to my article on gratitude, which is on my website. But the link is at the bottom of the page and I'll put it in the description as well. Our chapter ends with Maitreya and .co. I am thankful for all that I have and all that I don't have. I express my gratitude to everyone and everything in my life. And that is a saying by Maitreya.co. And with that, I thank you for listening. And where's my feather? And I ask you to please, if you would, if you like my readings, my books, or my little videos, my life lessons that's on my YouTube channel, please subscribe and please share. And my goal is to have 1,000 subscribers, as I can then benefit by YouTube and keep sharing my journey with you of life and the little lessons I learn in life. And if I can inspire only one, I see a butterfly. And yeah, I would be super blessed. Yes. Have a beautiful day. Be super blessed. Much love.